JT Smith for the TFON podcast here for season 4, episode 11. Here with my main man, the Bearcat legend, my OG, Dan Sellers. How you doing today, Dan?
Man, I'm doing all right, man. Trying to to really grasp what's really going on in this program, and trying not to overreact to certain things, but at the same point, just being a realist, just facing reality, man. This guy, he's not doing a good job. You know, you can say the team isn't great and all that stuff, which they're not, but they're easily uh, 2 to 3 games wins better than what they're playing right now. And I believe chiefly it's because guys just not making any adjustments during the game. He's not putting his players in the best position to succeed offensively nor defensively. I think the reason why they're just not getting blown out is because they're so talented on that front line that they make plays when they need to make plays, but it's just bad, man. And I'm not one of these guys that want to fire a coach first year and all that stuff because they have a losing season. I wasn't doing that when Fickle was in his first year. I might have been doing that on Tuberville's first year because it was kind of similar in terms of the intensity of the game plan and the flexibility and making adjustments throughout the game. Just not there. I mean, it continues in game 6 or 7. I can't even tell you game 7 to portray this guy as a backpedaling, straight drop back quarterback. I mean, he started the game doing some misdirections and getting him out on the edge, and I was really encouraged by that. But it seemed as soon as they started, they got into the game and got into a little bit of trouble. It was the straight drop back quarterback type deal. And to be honest, we just don't have the receivers to do that and throw on time. These guys are not open when they come out of the breaks, and and that's a big problem. So that's kind of where I am, man. Just that's where I'm gonna start off. I'm gonna make my bed.
Cool. So my first question to you would be, I'm not going to hit Oklahoma State yet. All right, even though they lost to Baylor, it was the 5th loss in a row. What positives did you see out of that game?
288 yards of rushing. 288. 300 yards of rushing.
Yeah.
I mean, the next closest amount was at BYU, another game they controlled. I'm sorry, Miami of Ohio, a game that So that right there tells me that's the hardest thing to do in football, is to impose your will on somebody, especially for 300 yards. You took 300 yards from them, meaning you went forward more times than not because you willed that. And so that right there is, to me, the biggest telltale sign. If you can run for 300 yards, you should win that game. You should win it pretty easily, actually. But he's not calling plays, at least offensively, to flow with the running game that you're having success with. And I've been saying it every week. Play action, and when they do play action, it's no real long, drawn out handoff fake, and he's just sticking it out there and doesn't look like play action. You're not holding anybody. So, your team is what it is. You got the quarterback that you have the receivers you have the running backs. I don't see us having great receivers right now. I mean, we got some big old guys running around out there, but they're just not getting separation. And teams are not afraid to play man-to-man against us. So we're not seeing a lot of zone. So, if you're seeing a lot of man-to-man, then you're going to see those tight ends get open over the middle with play action. Or you're going to see you know, the path, the RPO action having success. I don't see any of that being mixed in. It seems like he starts off like they started off the game, a lot of edge stuff, and it looked good. But it seemed like he got scared when they got down in the red zone areas and went back to the same old straight drop back pass, guys going out, and they're not getting separation. So, there's got to be some kind of misdirection and trickery to get these guys, these big guys open. Because this kid can't, he's not threading the needle, you know, um, like some of the top quarterbacks at this point. So that's my thing. So
I
yeah,
understand. I feel I feel like the misdirection for sure, bootlegs. You got to get him on the edge. I feel like you said, like it's too much straight drop back. That's not his wheelhouse. I feel like he caught his flow a little bit, especially the early drives, hitting the edges where he had a chance to run, and the throw was kind of like boom. One thing that I saw that I was kind of like scratching my head about, and I forgot to ask that in the presser, was they did a few screen passes, but they did a lot of screens to like the short side of the field,
right,
and I was like, it was like like you don't have any space. You know what I'm saying?
right,
Like you don't have
right,
any space, and you got the sidelines of defender, and then you got the short side of the field. So it's like you're helping that team flow. Unless you break it across the grain, you're not gonna get nothing off of it. Unless you just got the exception. We don't have the exception player either. It's not like you're throwing it out to Randy Moss Jr. You know what I'm saying? It's just that's not it. It's not Jerry Rice out there. So it's like
right,
um, I feel like a couple plays were good plays, but it was at to the short side, and I was like, it just was. I don't think that was the right. I would have ran it the other side and seen what was going to happen. Get a kid more space. I think it was a play that somebody shook somebody. Is that the right game? Shook somebody, but the person was right there, so he got like 2 or 3 yards. But I think it was on the other side. He would have had more room to be quick. You know what I mean? I think he would have got more yards out of it. But that's what I was seeing. Like you said, I think it was a lot of drop back, and I just think he's better on the move. If that's what we're going to roll with, you know what I'm saying? That's what we're going to roll with Emery on that. I think you got to get him on the move so he can possibly, if he turn water into wine if he can't make the throw, because it's not like you said, it's not like he's just going back there on the back of his drop, just killing, shredding people up. That's just not what's been happening. I mean, um, take it for what it's worth, but I think when he's on the edge, he does make positive plays. I think I feel like he looked solid on the edge on Saturday for sure. At least a few times they
right.
let him do it. So I think that's the ticket to success. I think they have to use Shimon Mateer, who's the tight end 7. I feel like he's the one guy that gives you a mismatch, but they do have to use him in the middle of the field.
Yeah.
The middle of the field, they don't use the middle of the field enough. They did it a little bit on Saturday, but I feel like the middle of the field has to be used. I feel like it's all on the sidelines. I don't really see many drag routes. I
Yeah.
think like combo routes, you know what I mean? Stuff like that where you can kind of maybe you got somebody in a diamond type set over there, and then you got the guy dragging where you causing chaos. Really don't see that. And I mean, I probably could look back and see, but I just off the initial look, I'm not seeing that. But I definitely think the middle of the field should be used, especially when you got a kid as talented as Mateer, who's actually been one of the guys that's been flashing the last few weeks. So that's like bittersweet. But I think he's the one that you kind of have to make them adjust to him because he's a big kid that if you miss, he can run a little bit. And for that size, what 6'5", 240, 250.
Mm-hmm.
I think you just got to try to get him to rock and then get those running backs the ball as much as you can. I feel like Kiner had another strong game, and then Miles Montgomery he had a heck of a game.
Yeah.
His touchdown
Right.
run was all
Mm-hmm.
him. You know what I mean? Like he made the kid miss in the backfield and spent out and got there. Something the dude that's been flashing, and it was like the first game that he's popped a big one, which I knew he had that talent. It was good to see him actually be able to do it, but I think they're a good combination of thunder and lightning. It's kind of just a grinder. Like he's not going to go 80 yards, but he's going to go 35. He might go
Yeah.
50. You know what I mean? 60 on the right lane. He might not go 80. That's cool. but he gonna run hard. And if you run him enough, I feel like by the fourth quarter, he's gonna break a couple that you're gonna be like, damn, because you're so tired of tackling him. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? He's
Right.
one of those guys you're gonna get tired of tackling. I feel like Montgomery is the opposite. So then he's gonna hit one occasionally, and I think they gotta stick with that. And I think they have to, get Emery on the corner, for sure. Like they gotta get on the edge, man. And I think and my thing is, don't have them roll to the short side. It's too easy because you're cutting
Right.
out the field anyways when you do it, and you make it these kids. It's D1. It's not D2. It's not whatever. You know what I mean? They're talented people, no matter what. They got scholarships too. You go to the short side, it's too easy. If I'm in a zone, especially I'm in man, and the linebackers flow right, it's just too easy, man. Going to the short, roll to the long side. Emery's normally good about getting a few positive yards, even if his stuff breaks down. I say rock with that and keep pushing. But that's my take on it, man. I know I got a little long with it. Normally I'm supposed to be the one just teeing it off for you, but that's what I saw.
No,
Man.
you're 100% right. I think the same thing. I mean, I've never seen a run to the boundaries work consistently, and I see it all the time. As coaches think, I don't know what all my life I'm like, why the hell do they run a sweep to the boundary? I can see them running off tackles and all that other stuff, but
that's like the one thing.
I guess in their mind they got the weak side linebacker over there or something that's not their best play. I don't know what it is, but that is stupid to me.
Yeah,
but,
I hate when people go to the weak side on. I mean, like that when it's when it's on the boundary. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like it's like if it's in the middle, do your thing. But if it's on the boundary, it's like it just makes it easier, man. Like I don't even like calling stuff to the boundary and like coaching second graders. You know what I'm saying?
I'm like, so I mean, you look at it, man. 162 yards passing.
Yep.
And to be honest, since the Eastern Kentucky game, and maybe even Miami at some points again, that was his best looking game. He played well against. He played. I mean, he didn't play well. He had a decent game against Oklahoma, but quarterback wise, he didn't make a lot of great plays, but he didn't make a lot of bad throws either, and with interceptions. So but here's the thing that I noticed: this kid, he's athletic, but he's not a good runner, and that's a big difference. Because a good runner is going to get you, 4 or 5 extra yards. I mean, like he goes down, he looks to go down way before he's in trouble, and he's just not a very fast, explosive guy either. He's quick, but he's not explosive.
Exactly.
I couldn't put my finger on it, and then I saw. I watched him a little bit where they did some design run plays, and it looked like, he could have got 3 or 4 more yards, and he went down, and so he's like a poor man's, not even Michael Vick, but he's not a great runner. So, but he's elusive enough that he can cause problems, and you have to account for him. But he's not. Like Action Jackson gonna take off for 70 yards. He's not gonna. I don't even think he's that fast, but and he might be. He just seems like he's tiptoeing all the time. He don't want none of that smoke for sure. But yeah. So I mean, at this point, I think what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna judge this coach strictly on decisions that he makes, at this point. Like, because if you make bad decisions on a 2-19 season, or whatever the season is going to be, 2-10 or whatever we at, you'll make bad decisions all the time. There's no reason for him to have been desperate enough to go for those. He was trying to prove something that he can score in the red zone. Do that when you down 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Don't do that when you got a chance to win the game, because literally he lost the game had we kicked those 2 field goals.
Yeah, that's what hurt, man. And I knew it. Like the thing was, I'm like, man, the 9 field goal attempts. I was like, man, it's gonna come back and bite him in the backside.
I said
Because the
that, yeah.
first drive they moved the ball well. They had the
Right.
fumble on the thing, but I still thought take the points. You're moving the ball, take the points. You lose. I mean, that would have been what? It was at the 20-yard line, so that would have been a 37-yard field goal. The kickers only
Yeah.
missed two or three field goals. One was blocked. The other one I think he missed, but I mean he's made a couple 50+ yarders. I think it's
Yeah.
like let him kick it. You know what I'm saying? If
Yeah.
he misses it, that's cool. You pass. I mean, you're not even passing the buck. It's hey, he should make that. And
Well, I
then
mean, the long was like what, 39 yards, something like that. It wasn't even that was
it
like
was 37. It was 37. Yeah, it was 37 yarder because it was at the 20-yard line. So you boom, you go 7 yards back, 27, add 10. Yep, 37. So you 37. I think Carter Brown. I'll take that all day. Right. You want
right.
7, but I'll take that. It's a good momentum after last week. Come out, you get points as soon as you get on the field. Boom. Defense stops them the first drive.
Right.
So boom. So matter you would have been up 3. You stop them. You got a little bit more momentum, and then you score next drive. So it could have been 10 zip. Could have been 10 zip hypothetically, right? I think they scored the first. We scored the first touchdown.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
No, they kicked the field goal
The
first.
bottom line is it was 6 points we took off the board and we lost by 2,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Lost by
So,
3. Lost by 3. Took off 6. And we had
yeah.
a fumble 6.
And we
So
had a
that's
fumble 6.
essentially we spotted them, took away 6 imaginary points because they never even got attempted, and then have a fumble 6, down 3. So that's essentially 13 points. You lose by 3.
But you know, also, I hate saying this, but the bright spot is because whenever I say this crap, it don't ever come true. But the bright spot is that we're a dangerous team. Nobody's just flat out whooped us.
Yeah.
We just got outcoached and outplayed at the quarterback position over and over again. And we don't have great tight receivers. We just don't. You know, our tight ends are probably our best group of receivers. Probably maybe the running backs are good receivers. I don't even know. But our receivers, they're not getting open. They don't get a whole lot of, and that we knew that was going to be a problem.
Yeah.
We lost so much. But if they can, you know, come up with a scheme to get this quarterback on the edge and get misdirection going with the running game, because right now everybody's priding for the running game. So they're going to be ready for the running game. And if you cannot, we have to tie in our passing game through our running game, just like the NFL. If you ever watch the NFL, they always try to establish the run first. Even if they can't establish run and they're throwing short passes, because they're always thinking about, okay, let's get these linebackers occupied.
Yeah.
And let's use the middle of the field. And so you're sitting here with, and I'm looking at the stats, looking at all these great rushing games. You know, we've gone over 100 yards in every single game rushing, with the 288 against Baylor and 115 was the lowest against Iowa State, and we really stuck it up in Iowa State. We still had 115 yards. You know, BYU had 250, 273 at Miami of Ohio, and then we're not going to talk about Eastern Kentucky, but Pittsburgh 215. You know, so establishing the run and not being able to pass the ball is idiotic to me, because generally you need to establish the run before you can establish the pass. And so end of the day, first of all, and I'm tired of saying this, but he should not be calling plays as a head coach. To me, that's a no-no. That's your ego. You need to let it go. And because it doesn't mean you can't call a play or two during the game. Doesn't mean that you can't follow the play calls, and doesn't mean you can't influence what happens. But you got a whole damn team to deal with, other than just the offense. You coming to the offense comes to the sideline. Where's the head coach? He's talking to the offense because he's calling plays. He can't focus on being a coach of the whole team and be a play caller at the same time. You just can't do it. And college kids need that type of feedback and interaction from the head coach. So because they have to feed off of somebody. And that was what Luke Fickell was very, very good at. He was very good at being engaged with every kid that came off the field. You know, he wasn't talking to him personally. He was making eye contact with them. You know, he didn't have a freaking cardboard chart over his face trying to figure out what the next play is. And that's a big, big problem. And I don't know if who makes that decision, but the AD has to make that call next year. You know, I'm gonna give you extra $200,000 to get us an offensive coordinator in here. Because it's bad because number one, you got a quarterback that's one dimensional, and you're not even catering to that. And you have inexperienced receivers, for the most part, except for the kid that transferred from Florida. But you got, so so it's, to me, it's like, yeah, they're not a great team, but they should have won 5 games right now. And the reason why they hadn't is not because the quarterback sucks, which he sucks half the time. Well, he's very mediocre. I won't even say he sucks when I'm looking at his stats in front of me, but he's very mediocre, but I also know by watching the games and understanding the play call that they're not putting the kid in the best position to win the game or to win the play, to have success every play. So, I don't, and it's crazy because you got such a really good running attack, and you can't. I mean, Fickell would have killed for this, and you can't manufacture plays off of that. It's crazy. That's why Fickell put those guys, those tight ends in the NFL. 2 of them last year, I believe. So, I mean, that's to me, that's it. And so I'm saying that I forgot where I was at because I be talking too much. And I'm drinking some muddy water over here.
Some muddy water. I feel you.
Okay, we were talking about the remainder of the season. So my thing is, if this guy can somehow, and I don't know if this will tell me everything I need to know these next 2 games. If he can somehow, come up with a game plan to take advantage of what they do well, and on offense, because I think defense can hang with anybody, as far as keeping them in close proximity to a win. They're not great there, but they're not running down our throat or anything either. So if he can come up with a game plan that utilizes our quarterback's athletic prowess as well as moving these receivers, drag routes, things that you're open if you're 6'5" and the DB is 5'9" and he's running right with you on a drag route.
Yeah, true.
I don't care what he does. You're open.
Yeah, it's the only thing you can do is pass interference.
That way, you can't be thinking through your playbook. You understand that you get the discipline of your playbook is like, we get this, we're going to run that. No, you got to be thinking about scenarios and what you do have and what you don't have versus what you drew up during the weekend you practice on the charts. And then a lot of coaches, that's how they got where they are, and they don't know any better. They're afraid to do anything different. Then the good coaches are the ones that improvise. It's like Travis Kelce never runs a pattern he's supposed to run. He sees whatever he sees in front of him. He knows exactly what pattern to run that counteracts that, and then he'll run that. And the quarterback, Mahomes, is on the same page. So you're not going to be that, I guess,
proactive, right?
But you will. But play by play, you have to be able to, adjust. So and acquiesce. So my thing is, if I don't see that next couple games, man, you ain't got to call me the last 2 games, bro. I mean, I'm gonna send you a postcard, man, from somewhere. Like, we suck. See you next year.
So we'll try again next year.
Yeah, like I said, I don't hope anybody gets fired. That's not my thing. I get online sometimes and I joke a little bit, but quite honestly, you know, we should have. These games are winnable, talent wise. It's not talent.
Yeah.
It's not this guy. This kid can't throw. It's not this kid can't run. Not this kid can't tackle. It's they're in the wrong position at the wrong time, and that's different from what Fickle used to have problems with. Fickle had problems with discipline.
Yeah.
These guys just aren't where they're supposed to be. They're not. They're not being coached to do certain things that they're not doing. So, and again, the other thing is, like you said, and somebody said to me online that we don't, in this league, you have to recruit. And what I'm saying, 3 stars, we've been getting 3 stars and making, especially Cincinnati 3 stars, they've been, making it to the NFL and making a big difference.
Yeah.
But, you're on a national stage in a Power 5 now where, you should be getting, if you're going to get a 3-star, I need that 3-star to come out of Florida or Texas. Not that their 3 stars are better than ours, but it's going to be more of a, skill position kind of 3-star that we want to get from Texas and Florida. I put our offensive defensive linemen and linebackers up against anybody in the Midwest, especially being down here. There's some good teams down here, but it's a lot of fluff, a lot of money being thrown around. But so I think that so if I can see that he's making an effort to adjust game time and during the game, then I might find some slack for him. But if I see him just cashing it in and taking his check and cashing it and been work, going to work, I don't want to see that. If I see that, then I'm gonna be vocal about getting rid of the guy. So I'm just trying to see how he's gonna finish. And I'm not really worried about the kids. I'm worried about him. I don't think the kids are gonna quit on us, but you can tell when a coach quits.
You got five games, man. You got 3 on the road, 2 at home. So we'll see what happens because the Oklahoma game scares me. Like I'm just gonna keep it real. I'm gonna have
yeah.
That scares me. At first it didn't, but the way we're playing scares me. I always knew it was gonna be a tough games on the road, but now Oklahoma's starting to catch their flow. We haven't caught ours. Only team that only one game I feel like we just got worked was the Iowa State game.
Yeah, we got worked.
So that throws me off. You know what I mean? It's like that's the one that's like coin flip, right? Like not a coin flip. That's the one that wasn't a coin flip. It was just them just getting out everything, and I feel like they were just as good as far as player for player as Iowa State. So that hurt. So going to Oklahoma State, it's gonna be interesting to see. First time, at least they don't have to worry about the altitude, but I think Oklahoma State is better than BYU personally.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't know. Can they have a clean game? It's one thing, and a clean game more so turnovers. I don't really mind the penalties here and there happens, but the turnovers they gotta. I mean, you can't pick sixes and fumble six can't happen. Special team turnovers. I think special teams like the coverage has to be a little bit better too. I feel like they've given up a few, big plays, splash plays that can't happen on a consistent basis. And I feel like it's been consistent the last few weeks that they give up 1 or 2. Like, that's a lot of yards. And I'm not used to seeing that. They are playing better competition on a week-to-week basis, but still, this isn't the Big 12 isn't a juggernaut this year. You know what I mean? It's not a juggernaut. It's all teams that are kind of around the same talent, and then you got Texas and Oklahoma are kind of above everybody. And then you got like maybe the leader of the second pack is I think Kansas and Kansas State.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And everybody else is kind of like, depending on how you want to play this week, kind of a thing. But I think UC should be higher in the glass than they are. You know what I mean? Right now they're bottom of the barrel. You know what I'm saying?
Well, like the punk ass move that fickle made, man, and I think he would have been pleasantly surprised on success they would have had he stayed. You know, he made a punk ass move. I actually talked to one of his friends. We used to work together, and they lived near each other. Kids played high school, and he was like, I met Fick a bunch of times, obviously.
Yeah.
Press, but he was like, yeah, that was one of the biggest factors was the quarterback position here, and the easy schedule at Wisconsin. He felt like he would have a successful year, and they'll give him a gap to recruit the guys he needed to recruit. And he said that came out of his mouth. So, and every man for themselves. Hell.
Oh yeah, it's a dirty
my
game.
Family in my pocket, and it's a stressful job anyway.
24/7.
You do what you gotta do, but I guess at first I wasn't mad. I could care less, but I mean, I'm kind of mad because of who we have now and what he's kind of showing us he is. Again, I mean, this next 2 games will tell me whether to be on the side of the field, get out of my town by noon campaign, or I got $5 towards that $10 million buyout, whatever his buyout might be for 2 years.
You got 5. Not the 5.
Well, you got 5
on it, people that watch Martin, that's watching, not the 5.
So, I mean, again, you never know. You never know. And the guy might be the best coach that we ever have, but right now, and hopefully he learns from this and does well. But right now, he got that it's that feeling that he's just not a good coach for us. And I'm not saying he's gonna be a good coach somewhere. It just seems that he just does not have it right now, and it may be just momentum and all that other stuff that got a hold of him, and but sometimes you get that energy that, and it just takes you down. It kills a lot of coaches. You see, like Dabo. Dabo's struggling to keep his energy up and his mojo going, and Jimbo Fisher, another guy who had a ton of success and just stepped on the wrong crack, and now they're trying to get rid of him. And then you got you just Urban Meyer, I mean, for God's sakes, who was neck and neck with Nick Saban, as far as legendary coaches, and look where he's at right now, out of coaching, and he should at least had an opportunity to coach Cincinnati. But I digress.
So all right, so I'm asking you this question. I think we already talked about. This is an off the record, on the record question.
Go ahead.
Urban Meyer. So I was like, before the hire or whatever, I always said Urban Meyer will give you the best 4 years of your life. It's just gonna end ugly. The optics look. The thing was, the optics look bad because that's what happened in Jacksonville. But he gonna win. Like, the thing, he gonna win. He gonna burn some bridges. He gonna win. I don't know. I knew it wasn't gonna happen, but I was like, he gonna give you the best 4 years of your life.
Yeah, no, I get it.
When it end, he burning the bit down. Like, the town's gonna be on fire.
Well, he didn't do that. Well, kind of did that.
He didn't do that with Ohio State, though. He didn't do that with Ohio State. He did better with Ohio State. He
had a little bit of controversy going out the door, but he got burnt out.
Getting lap dances and
yeah.
On the side or something.
No, I don't think his wife wanted to come to Cincinnati. Last time he was in Cincinnati, he was trying to holler
go crazy.
Something thick. He was trying to holler at something thick. And that's my guy, man. That's my former teammate. And shoot, Auburn could care less. That guy got accused of rape and all that other stuff. So
damn, for real?
Yeah, and then Alabama has who has the Bobby Petrino? Is it Bobby Petrino? Yeah, not Bobby. Yeah. Somebody has him as a
Bobby Petrino's going crazy. He got hired at look, he got hired at whatchamacallit twice, didn't he?
Right. Yeah. Louisville twice, and then the second time he got in trouble again, and now he's back in coaching. He's the offense coordinator for I want to say Saban. I don't know. He's a
legend though, for real. You think?
Yeah. I bet he is, and especially in the strip club.
He is a walking stimulus.
Yeah. So might be responsible for them light skinned Trayvons down in Atlanta. I'm just kidding.
Where Dad at? Dad gonna be around, but he financially made sure everything cool.
Yeah, he ain't gonna be a good athlete, but he's gonna be a hell of a coach.
Yeah. They got the clipboard ready already.
Yeah, little Trey gonna be all right.
Yeah, little Trey. So, all right, so we got 5 games. I'm gonna run them down. We got Oklahoma State on the road coming up Saturday. Back at home, UCF. Yep. Houston on the road. West Virginia on the road. Kansas at home. All right. If the Bearcats play clean ball, where do they get their next win? Clean ball. Like imagine, like no bad turnovers. I'm not saying they're not gonna turn it over, but just nothing that's gonna be earth shaking where they pick 6, fumble 6, block field goal at return, play clean ball, and making a few plays here and there. Where do they get the next win?
Let me find that. Find the remaining game. Where is it at? Schedule. Hey, where you go? I'm sorry, man. You said it, and then I was going to look it up so I can look at it.
Nah, it's all good.
Let me see. Hold on one second.
I had to ask you the Urban Meyer question. We already talked about it, so it just was funny. I had to just get that.
Hey, man. Sometimes, man, you just gotta do what you gotta do, man. Folks vote for Donald Trump, huh? It can't be worse than that.
You're right. It can't be. Felt like I was having to walk outside, look both ways, coming out my door. I want you around here, type shit. Like, damn, I pay my taxes.
So name them again.
We got Oklahoma State coming up Saturday. You got UCF at home, Houston on the road, West Virginia on the road. So you got back-to-back on the road. Finish off with Kansas at Nippert.
I think obviously when you look at that, you're going to say, we got an opportunity at Houston and UCF, and traditionally you would say Kansas, but Kansas is playing well. I mean, because you have more familiarity, obviously, with UCF and Houston. And then, West Virginia has been up and down. They've been all over the place, man. Yeah, I think they had a good win this week. But so those are, as far as, I believe we're as talented or more than those 3 teams. However, we've been as talented as BYU and Baylor as well. And, like you said, Iowa State too. And Miami. So,
definitely.
So, if you think about it, man, we should be really the only game that you said we got our butts kicked was Iowa State. And in Oklahoma, we just didn't do it. Their defense played well against us. So you look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games right there that we should have had. We'd be like, okay, let's regroup after the bowl game and give this guy another shot. But again, games have not been played, and if you are the coach, if you are a good coach, you should understand that your team is as good or better than Houston, as good or better than UCF, as good or better than West Virginia. And So those are games that if you're a good coach, you find a way to win. Period. Just like you found a way to lose against BYU in Miami, you should find a way to win. If you beat Miami of Ohio and BYU, nobody's saying a word. Okay.
Yeah. You're right.
This guy's getting his foothold. But you're losing to teams you're not supposed to lose to. And Oklahoma had 37 yards rushing against UC.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. 37 yards?
That's what I'm looking at. Oh, no. 10. I'm sorry.
I'm about to say, damn.
They had 140. I'm sorry.
I'm about to say, sheesh, I thought they did a little something, but it wasn't crazy. But
I'm looking at the wrong
okay, I'm about to say, sheesh. I thought it was a little bit better. I'm like, I'm getting my dirty water might be kicking in too much.
Yeah. So I mean, to me, and I don't expect us to win 3 games, but if we do win 3 games, I'm gonna pull my foot off the gas a little bit.
Okay.
But that would have showed me something that, okay, give me a chance, guys. Because, we're gonna give you a chance because they don't want to pay you, but it'll give me some kind of, I'll sleep at nights during the off season.
Yeah.
So yeah, to answer your question, those are my predictions. I think there's 3 very winnable games. I think I think we are as good as Kansas. We are. It's just what it is. We got as good players as they have. Nobody's on their team, better than Oklahoma. So I think Oklahoma was the only team that was just flat out better than us, talent.
Yeah.
Flat out Kansas, better, Kansas is doing what they're supposed to do. They're beating the team they're supposed to beat, and they're playing, well against teams that they're not supposed to beat. So and they've done that for 2 years, and they haven't gone to anybody's playoff. So they're not recruiting better than us. I guarantee that. So player for player, we should beat Kansas too. But they're playing better than us. They're being coached better than we are, and that's the problem. And I would love to say something different. Like, hey, we got a great coach. We just don't have talent. No, we got some talent. We don't have the best receivers in the world. We damn sure don't have the best quarterback in the world. But he's better than. There's a reason why he's a 4-star quarterback.
Yeah.
He's better than how he's being coached, and so you got to pull yourself together. You got to start making adjustments, and as a coaching staff, you got to look at yourself. And I think one thing that they failed to do is look at the fact that him calling play, and I don't think they'll ever switch offensive coordinator. But going to next year, I believe that they have to consider. Well, they have to not even consider. They have to make the change. He cannot call plays, and the athletic director needs to say, "Hey, this is where you are, and you can choose to call plays if you want to, but I'm gonna give you extra $200,000. Go find the right offense coordinator, and if you continue calling plays, you're not successful. Your ass is gonna be out of here." That's what you got to do that's what athletic directors are supposed to do. I'm not going to tell you how to run your team, but the reason why y'all lost 3 games or 4 games, and instead of us having a packed stadium coming up next year, tickets are sold out, and instead of us having those prime games, now we're playing at 11 in the morning and 7 or 12 at night, and and our game on ESPN. Equals instead of plus.
Equals. They got us on the poor test.
Man, what the hell?
They might have us on the poor test if we keep losing like this. Have us with the Spanish people. No, fly out to my Hispanics, but
right.
They gonna have us on the poor test. Like like say.
The Bearcats, Cats of the Bears. I'm sorry.
Bearcats go.
That is almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's almost racist. But
Yeah.
I live in
Man.
Texas, so I speak Spanish.
Hey, nah, my Hispanic people, that's my people, my dogs, man. I rock out my Hispanic people. They know what I'm saying. We might be or they might put us on what's the Canadian ESPN?
Oh, TSN.
TSN. They might put us.
Hey, man, I watch CSN religiously.
I mess with TSN too. So they might put us on there for the CFL.
Yeah, man. We might be up there, man.
They might put
we
they might
probably join their league next year. Get in there and play McGill.
They might ship us off. They ship us off, man. It's a cold world when it comes to this networking thing, you know.
Yeah, it is. It'll let you know.
Like, fuck it. Bearcat game. Let's just put them.
playing on Wednesday night.
Put them on TSN, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Put it on TSN. Man, they be all right.
Action playing on Wednesday night with Maction.
They gonna flex us. They're like, damn, I thought it was a Saturday game.
Hey, you remember those days though, man? We were at Conference USA. We had
for sure. Thursday night games be lit though.
Yeah.
If you're on the weekday, if you're on the weeknight, them be all right. I'll be like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go ahead and go. I'm gonna get my studying done. I'm gonna go ahead and go check this out.
Yeah,
for real. So yeah,
well,
man.
Yeah, man. That was a good show today, man. And
yeah, for sure, man.
I didn't know how. I just was feeling a bit melancholy, but it's good to get on and talk through your problems.
Yeah, you gotta talk through it, man. You gotta talk through it. You can't keep it pent all inside. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Then you might bump into somebody step on your shoe, you tripping out because you mad about this. They ain't got nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You gotta get it out. You know what I'm saying? You gotta write it down or something. I gotta finish my joint. I got one I gotta finish up. I think I might do it tonight. I gotta write it on down, man. Just
there you go.
You gotta write, man.
Yeah. No, I'm with you, man.
Got let your heart bleed.
Oh, man.
No, for real. So, all right, man. So will you join me next week if they lose?
Absolutely.
I'm making sure, man. I mean, you talking about you send me a postcard.
This is therapy, bro.
All right, I'm saying so. You good?
Sorry. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna clown their ass. They lose.
Whew.
I ain't gonna clown them, but if they lose like clowns, I'm gonna clown them.
Okay, I understand.
I think they can beat anybody in this conference now. And people, that's how I approach it. Now, obviously, most people don't. The common sense says we're not there yet.
Yeah.
But in order for me to watch the full game, I gotta believe that hey, we're gonna come in and give our all. That's as a fan. As an analyst, it's different. You just
100%.
I look at the numbers here on my computer screen, and it is what it is. But I do that, quite often. But as a fan and ex-player, you got to believe that, that you can beat them. And
you got to believe. If you don't believe you can beat them, you ain't gonna beat them. I tell that to the kids now, like. Hey, you gotta believe that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly,
you gotta believe it.
I've been in games where I was the underdog, and once we won and was successful, and I've been in games where we kind of rolled our hammer on the field, thinking it was going to be over in 60 minutes, and got our butts kicked. So and it's so funny. You've been around the sport so long, you kind of know when you're gonna lose. Like, okay, these are when. You see a couple things happening, like, okay, yeah, I've seen this before. They're gonna lose. Maybe first quarter, like, oh, they keep playing like this, it's gonna be a losing game, and that's about 7 or 8% of the time you can tell that. Like when they come out and they're not playing, a certain way, or they're making certain mistakes.
Yeah,
you think back on the losses that you had that you should have won. And the same type of mistakes have happened. And like, okay, this is just playing out like a Hollywood script.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. Shoot, this was good therapy for me today. And, I like I said, I'm perplexed, man. I want these guys to I don't want this guy to be so bad we have to fire him. I believe he is, but I don't want to believe it.
Okay.
It's not a good,
I mean, that's fair. That's a fair
yeah,
thing to say. I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's what
right,
people are feeling. Like, I mean, you can't hide emotions. You know what I'm saying? What you feel or what you feel. You know, like
right.
people are trying to like mask it. You know what I mean? Like, if that's what you feel, it is what it is. You know, I don't want it. I mean, first year, I'm a glass half full. I just want them to like the last games. I need them to compete. Um, I feel like Baylor game, they just shot themselves in the foot. They gotta stop shooting themselves in the foot too. It's like every game that they've
Yeah,
lost, shot themselves in the foot too much. Besides, I mean, the Iowa State game was the one I feel like Iowa State just came in here and punked us, and that was
yeah.
the one. Come on, but the other games, man, they're damn sure winnable. So it's like you gotta bottle up whatever happened in those games and finish out this season like that. Because that I'm not gonna lie, the Oklahoma State game scares a lot out of me, piss out of me. I'll say
Well,
that.
I'm not afraid anymore. I mean, they get their ass kicked. They get their ass kicked.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna sit there and watch it analytically,
yeah, for sure.
and be able to talk about it the next week. So on
Yeah,
here,
you can
so I'm
detach.
I know it's gonna be ass kicking pretty soon. If it's gonna be ass kicking, I just take my emotions out of it. I'm like, let me get my emotions up out of this fight. And then I
Yeah,
go sit on the patio, drink some brown water, watch 2 TVs,
yeah.
and pay more attention to the other TV than I do the UC one.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. So we'll see, man. I'm a,
Yeah.
uh, I'm gonna have a Oklahoma State guy on, so I'm gonna make it a 2-part pod. I won't go
All
live
right,
with it.
that's
I'm just gonna
cool.
attach it to this. But so essentially, I'm gonna talk to him, see how he feels. You know, they on a 3-game winning streak. They 5-2. They coming in this game.
Yeah.
Be 2 and
Yeah.
5, and they 5-2. So, I mean, shit, you seen a lot of upsets last week. It's just we just got to get one of them things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
like as a fan, you know what I'm saying? As a
Yeah.
person that covers the team, um, you know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna report on what's happening. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But people like wins more than like losses. But you know, that's just how it go. Um, yeah, we'll see what happens, man. Because I just think Oklahoma State is a interesting place to play. I mean, just seeing it on TV and stuff like that, I just feel like it's going to be jumping late night game. Just got to bring our stuff. I think our defense can hold water. I think we just can't shoot ourselves in the foot, man. Give up.
Well, I'm interested to see what type of wrinkles they're going to throw out there. They got to
Yeah,
have. They have to do that because if
yeah,
I'm preparing for that offense, man, I'm like, okay, man to man,
enough to run out.
yeah, let's pressure a little bit and take care of the middle of the field because we can't throw worth a damn in the middle of the field.
Yeah, yeah,
And that's what I would do. And
yeah. I damn near. I don't even know. Would you go? Would you single high or would you be two?
I go too because the
Yeah, I
receivers
go two. I would go
separation.
two. I would go
Yeah,
two and make you throw it down the middle of the field to get
absolutely.
15. Yeah, I would.
The only chance you got with those tall receivers is to throw it tall.
Yeah, yeah,
And so, like I said, you don't see any crossing patterns. You don't see any
yeah,
play action. We don't do any of that.
yeah. We definitely don't have any. I definitely haven't seen a drag route. I don't think I've seen one drag route all year.
Yeah, very few and far between.
Something like they confused them. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel
Right.
like I know our offensive line isn't. I mean, they're not terrible. Like they're doing. I mean, playing
No.
against better competition, but they've been holding. You're gonna get hit in the Big 12. It's just that's how
Right.
it is. I feel like they've been holding water though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just think they gotta get real creative and use the middle of the field because then that'll make teams back up a little bit. I think personally, I think the running game's gonna do solid. Always gonna do solid. If they rolling, it's gonna be good. But you gotta use the middle of the field and get them on the edge a little bit, man. And I gotta use the wide side of the field, not using the short side of the field too, on whatever
Yeah.
screens. And I haven't seen a running back screen. I don't think all year either. Have you?
I don't remember seeing it either.
I feel like teams are coming for him. Like I just feel like Kiner and Miles and those kids can catch the ball good enough where they definitely should use some screens too, man.
It just reminds me of a high school quarterback. That's what they're running. High school quarterback play. So I don't know.
Yeah, they definitely need to get that incorporate them screens. I feel like that'd be something that shake it up. I mean, you can't do it every time, but I feel like teams are, especially when teams catching that flow on us, man. Teams start catching that flow, they just like start dominating. I feel like them screens will shake it up
Yeah.
a little bit here and there. Not on third down, but maybe a second. Maybe you start it off. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. I'm a field person when it comes to that, but I don't know, man. All right, so I won't keep you much longer. I know I start rambling. We were supposed to be done 10 minutes ago.
All right.
And so I'm gonna let you go, man. We'll end this segment of the pod. Just saying thanks, Dan, man. And I'm glad that you'll be on next week if you want. You know what I'm saying? Because I was thinking
absolutely. I
you
want to
were
be
gonna
on
be
next
gone.
week.
I thought we was gonna be all offline.
Hey man, that's my part-time job, bro.
Yeah, I know.
I just ain't got paid yet. That's all.
I feel you. We need some come on, sponsors, come on in, man. Sponsors, holler at us.
Yeah,
take,
let me go real quick.
We'll take Uncle Near's.
Oklahoma State. They beat Kansas. They beat West Virginia. They beat they beat Kansas State.
So I told you, man. I didn't know they beat Kansas State, but I'm telling you, they caught a flow because they was trash at first, and now they not.
Let me see who they beat. They beat Central Arkansas, Arizona State, good team, not good team.
Yeah.
They beat.
Compete. I feel like Arizona State competes.
South Alabama got a hold of their ass. Okay,
what game was it though?
Beat them. Iowa State beat them 34-27. Oklahoma State beat Kansas State, which I thought was a better team. Then they beat Kansas and West Virginia. So we should play well against them.
We definitely should compete.
Yeah, we got a shot there.
We should compete with everybody left on the schedule. It's just
we're better than South Alabama, I think. And
definitely got to be better than South Alabama.
Yeah,
we ain't better than South Alabama. I don't know. Well, you might as well just go ahead and punt the whole damn program.
Right. So, all right, man.
All right, cool.
All right, we'll wrap during the week and definitely during the game and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Catch up with everybody else next week on the podcast.
Bet. All right, my man.
All right,
appreciate you, my man.
All right, bro. Take care of my city.
All right, we'll do.
All right.
Yep.